Hi guys, welcome to Dance World. Welcome to a new video. So, for a few days I could not upload any videos. You know why? Because I had pre-boards. I had to study a lot. Guess what? For all of you who knows, next week I have board exam. So, have nothing else to do. I thought I could make a video for you guys so that I can share how my life is going during these board exams. I know it can be really tough, but it's also really exciting. You have been waiting for this board exam for a few years. From my 7th grade, my mom has been saying like, oh, you next 3 years is only left for you. Next 2 years left. Next year you have exam. Now, next week I have board exam. What to do, guys? Anyways, next week is there. I have a lot of revision to do. I have a lot of sample papers to solve. But I recommend you guys, all my juniors, that to complete your portions before the first pre-board starts, because I completed all my portions before the second pre-board starts. But I didn't get time for revision because the second pre-board ended yesterday. So it was tough for me. So I needed a lot of time to practice, and it's gonna be a hard practice. So if you guys finish the portions early, you can practice easily and you can make sure that you can get really high marks. So yeah, for me only 1 week is left, right? So this week is the master week. I need to finish all the portions, or every revision should be done in this week. So, and the gap days. So I am following a plan of a YouTuber named You Can Learn It. He says in Hindi, so I'm going to say to those who doesn't understand Hindi that much. For the first 1 week, it's a 1 week master plan. So I'm going to say it to you guys. So it has all the chapters included. So it's saying for maths, science and SST. So for me personally, as a language, I chose Hindi. Even if I am a Malayali, I chose Hindi because I don't know to read or write Malayalam. And yeah, I chose Hindi, and now I have discovered that Hindi is one of my weakest subjects. And I need to give a lot of concentration to Hindi. Yeah, you can say about me. Yeah. So I'll say with you the plan. So first day for maths, we have statistics and real numbers. So it's saying one hard chapter and one easy chapter per day. So for the day 1 for maths, we have statistics and real number. For science, we have our environment and light. For SST, we have nationalism in Europe and print culture. That chapter. And you can divide time into 3 slots for maths, science and SST. 3 hours for maths, 3 hours for science, 3 hours for SST. I know this is too much time for you guys to study, but you should work hard to gain it. Yeah, right? Yeah, so day 2 is coming. For that, maths, polynomials and arithmetic progression. For science, heredity and chemical reactions and equations. For SST, minerals, power sharing and development. Now we have 3 chapters for SST because minerals is quite hard, but yeah, power sharing and development is really easy. So yeah, for the second day it's like that. Here also 3 hours for each subject. And we have day 3 for maths, pair of linear equations, and we have quadratic equations. For science, human eye and acid base chapter. For SST, gender, religion and caste. Globalization in history chapter, there's a globalization chapter, right? That one. And we have federalism. So these chapters are for day 3. Here also 3 hours. And for day 4, probability and introduction of trigonometry for maths, life processes and metals and non-metals for science. For SST, parties, the chapter has political parties, that one. And the water chapter and the lifeline chapter, lifelines of Indian economy, that chapter. And then for day 5, we have for coordinate geometry and triangles. For science, we have electricity and control and coordination. For SST we have India, the nationalism in India and global world, globalization. Then we also have agriculture, the agriculture chapter. For day 6 we have applications of trigonometry, circles. For science we have reproduction in human beings and magnetic effects. And for SST we have outcomes of democracy and sectors of Indian economy. And then for the final day, for maths we have areas related to circles, surface areas. For science we have carbon and its compounds, full chapter, because it's the hardest chapter in science, so we are giving a full 3 hours just for that chapter. Then we have that money and credit, that chapter, and resources and development for SST. So in these 7 days we are completing the portions of maths, science and SST with 3 hours for each subject. Then we have 3 hours for each subject, means we have 9 hours. So this plan is for studying for 10 hours or more. So the rest 1 hour you can give to either Hindi or for English. So it can be alternative. So for Hindi there are 14 chapters. So you can complete 2 chapters in a day. And 2 chapters can be 1 poem and 1 chapter. Like that you can complete. Like that it will be easier to complete the full chapter. And for English, the last 2 days before the board exams should be fully dedicated for English. For English, many of you know, just watch summary videos, or not only watching summary video will help you. You should also make a summary, a short summary of the full chapter. For poems and all, just understand what all are the poetic devices. There are lots of poetic devices. Just study all the poetic devices and understand what's given in the poem. That's the theme of the poem, the poet's name. Then for the chapters, just write a short summary, a really short summary of the full chapter, so that you can understand the full chapter. Guys, I'm saying, if I ask you, the plot of the Fast and Furious movie or any movie you like, you would explain the whole movie in a short way, right? Just like that, you study these chapters by watching videos, animated videos or something in YouTube. By watching that, you can explain this to your family or your friends. This can help you get that into your mind and never forget it. I use that method, and I know all the chapters. I just need to summarize and write practice questions. Just that's enough for my English exam. And for essay writing and all, for analytical paragraph and all is there. So for that we need a lot of writing practice, and there's a high chance to lose mark in unseen passage, guys. So try to practice it, like 1 unseen passage a day, like that you can practice. So that is planned for the 7 days. This is just the revision, and we need more practice. So I have planned to practice more during the gap days between the subjects. So for me, I have taken Hindi, so that I have, for the first exam is English for everyone. After that, the second is science exam, and we have 5 days gap between the English exam and the science exam. So in the 5 days, I'm not only going to study for science, I'm also going to study for SST. Get it right? I'm going to study for science and SST, both subjects in these 5 days. Then we have from science to social studies. From science to social studies, I'm not only going to prepare for social studies, I'm also going to prepare for Hindi, which is after the social studies exam. So in these next 5 days, I'm going to study for SST and Hindi. Then after that, from social SST, so for those who have taken Tamil and Urdu, for those of you who take Tamil and Urdu, there is only 2 days gap for you guys. Means if the SST exam is in 25th, for you guys it's in 27th. So it might be hard to study for the max. So just don't prepare for max. Just prepare only for Tamil for the 2 or 3 days. You have 2 days you have left for Tamil and Urdu, guys. For me, I took Hindi, so I have 3 days gap. Those 3 days gap only concentrate on Hindi, because after Hindi exam we have 10 days leave for max exam. So no need to prepare for max exam in these days. Just prepare for Hindi exam, or any subject, language exam in these gap days. After that, after 10 days comes max exam. For max exam, in this 10 days, revision, all the revision. You can practice all the PYQs, do all the sample papers. Just only concentrate on max. Don't concentrate on any other subject. Only concentrate on max. For those who have for people who are studying in UA, I am also studying in UA. They have Arabic exam after max, which is only 2 days after the max exam. I heard Arabic is gonna be a little easy, so for in these 2 days you can try your maximum to prepare, and you can also take some days from the max preparation days. And Malayalam is 7 days after the max exam, so yeah, you can also prepare for Malayalam subject. And IT is for other students, there is an 8-day gap for studying IT. That's a lot of days. You can take rest, and in the last 4 days only you need to study, because there is minimal chapters. IT, for IT they have in the sample papers and everything, they mentioned what kind of questions are coming, and everything is mentioned already. So that much preparation, like that much hard work and preparation is not there. For 8 days hard work is no needed for information technology. But after the Malayalam exam, 1 day later we have information technology. So for Malayalam students, it will be really hard for them to prepare in 1 day. So in 1 day it can be really hard. So I recommend after the max exam, by studying Malayalam, also studied IT with Malayalam. So it can also help with your IT exam. So yeah guys, this is the plan. So guys, 5 days, 3 days, 10 days, 8 days, like that gap days, full revision, full sample papers, full PYQs, everything, practice all the questions in these gap days. There is no excuse, and you cannot be lazy guys. If you want to gain it, you should work hard for it. That's what I have to say. Like, this is not time for revision. If you haven't completed your chapters, I do not recommend you to read the NCERT again from the starting. It will be really hard for you guys to complete. So I recommend you guys just watch the summary videos of all the chapters of the subjects, and just practice the questions. This is the time to practice the questions guys. So practice all the questions as much as you can. Practice all the questions. So we both are on the same plane. We are working really hard for the next 7 days for getting above 95%. I'm not aiming for 90% above. I also might get, I don't know if I'll get 95% above, but there's no one stopping us from dreaming for it, right? So I'm working really hard for getting above 95%. So be with me guys. Hope we get good marks. So guys, see you later.